If you are doing any kind of digital marketing, you have to know your numbers. Stop wasting time trying 10 different things and not knowing if any of them are working for you, and start getting clear on your digital marketing analytics. I am interviewing here Steph Nissan. She is a partner and head of digital operations at Atomic Revenue. She's a national speaker on digital operations, focusing on data, analytics, and ROI, and has worked with everyone from big brands like Toyota and TJ Maxx to tech startups and small local businesses. She's been named as one of the top 30 women in social media and a Wonder Woman of marketing by Synthesio, and is listed as a top Twitter influencer in artificial intelligence, social media marketing, data analytics, and more. So this is, I think, one of the areas that we shoot ourselves in the foot by not paying attention to any of the data. We just are like, I just want more followers. I just want more followers. And we don't understand the whole picture. So what do we need to know? Because this is not a strength of mine.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a couple of things and everything to really get people kind of on the right track and thinking about their data and their analytics in a different way. The first thing really is, just because you can measure it doesn't mean it matters. We live in a world where we have so much data. If you run a Facebook page, you know in the Insights tab, you've got 19 pages of all this mix of data, from demographics to how many people viewed your Facebook page to clicks. And it's absolutely overwhelming for anybody, for the solopreneur or even big brands. They're like, how do I make sense of this? What actually matters in here? So we always start with, you don't have to measure it all. You don't have to pay attention to it all, because half of it's measured for you automatically, right? So you have to set, which is called an OKR. You have to set an objective and key results. Objectives, goals. So I'm sure that's come up today and everything, and it'll come up more anytime you talk to somebody. It's, what are you trying to accomplish? What's the goal? And then how are you going to know when you hit that goal? If my objective is I want to grow my business, the key results then will be, I need to increase sales by 30%. I need to retain, 5 more customers a month. You're going to set 3 or 4 key results that, did you hit it, yes or no? And if you hit them, then yes, I hit my objective. Then underneath that, there's layers. I love layers. I love process. I love data. Go figure, right? Data nerd. But
we are glad
we got a goal.
Somebody has to love that data so they can explain it to the rest of us, or otherwise we'd be lost. We just look at the reports and don't know where to go.
Right. So that's what I get a lot of, is they're like, I don't know where to begin. I'm like, great, I got you, girl. We're good. So we set an objective, we set the key results that we need to hit that, and then we set KPIs underneath it. What metrics, what key performance indicators? So if I need to grow sales by 30%, what things need to happen? I need to make 5 calls a week. I need to book 2 meetings. I need to send 5 emails. I need to send out 1 proposal and everything. What are all the metrics underneath that are going to help me hit that? There's layers to your data. So, and it doesn't mean that nowhere in there, if for me, I'm with Atomic Revenue. I own a company where revenue's in the title. So end game goals are profitable revenue for us and for our clients. So I'm not looking at bounce rates of my website. I'm not looking at how many new Facebook likes we got this month, because those metrics are not key performance indicators of my results that I want to achieve, and they don't help support my overall objective. So I don't pay attention. I can let those go and not stress about it.
I love that a lot, actually, because there are so many things to look at. Now, I have clients who, I hear this actually on a regular basis, from one specific group of my clients, that they are paying people to do their social media for them and to run their ads for them and all of these things. And then they get back these reports and they honestly do not know if it's working or not. And I think that a lot of digital marketing agencies right now are trying to show them the numbers that look good. And they know that those aren't the right numbers, but they also know that the client doesn't get it. And so if you're, I don't know. Can anyone relate to this? Do you feel like you look at the reports and you're like, I don't even know what this story is telling me? Is it working? What's not? If you can relate, type in that you can relate. So for those of us that are in that space, what are the numbers that they should be asking for? What are the numbers that they should be paying attention to when it comes to, I mean, we can pick it apart if we want to, like if we want to just say Facebook ads, what's important that they understand with their Facebook ads?
Right. So I am a big proponent of that you cannot look at metrics by themselves. That if you want to know if your Facebook ads or the person you're paying for social media management and everything, your freelancer is doing their role and everything, the data they report back to you has to be part of a bigger data story. It is one chapter in a book, right? So if you only get this one chapter, you don't know how it ends. I don't know how it began. I don't know what are the plot points in here because I don't have enough. That's
Right.
not enough information for you to be able to say this is working or this is not. So this is like a big point for me. This is a very passionate point for me that I talk about a lot and all over the country, talking about as when I talk to other marketers even, that if you are in marketing, you cannot tell the company, your client, what the ROI of marketing is by yourself. You can't. You cannot do it without your best friend from the sales department, without coordinating with your buddies in operations and everything. If you're a larger company and everything's siloed, or even if you're a solopreneur, you can't look at your social media marketing by itself. You can't, because you're doing that as part of your visibility. Digital isn't just marketing, is really what it comes down to. Digital, your social media, your website, your content, your emails, your ads, that is really not just marketing. It's also part of generating leads, absolutely. But it's also part of the conversion process of validating your message. 70% of a buying decision is made before somebody ever talks to a sales rep. Harvard Business Review reported that a couple years ago. So they're using your digital and everything to validate your message and decide whether or not to buy from you. 70% of that sale is made before they even talk to you or fill out your form. So your digital affects generating the lead, closing the deal, and creating that raving fan base and communities. And Justine was just on talking about building, Facebook groups and everything. That is a great way to build advocates. And guess what? They help transfer trust and send you more leads, help validate your message, convert sales. So when you look at your digital analytics, you have to think about it as this supports every little touch of how revenue goes through my country and every little step of a new prospect, a stranger to my best friend.
Yeah.
What that looks like.
I want to point out something here because I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs in the summit, a lot of small business owners, and I do see confusion where they don't know actually if they have a marketing problem or a sales problem. I see that quite often. They'll come to me and they'll tell me that they have a marketing problem. And when I look in, I'm like, no, your lead collection is okay. Your lead conversion is bad. Or they'll tell me I have a sales problem. I'm like, no, your closing ratios are great. Like you're real consistent there. You don't have enough visibility, enough lead flow. Yeah. So in that data story, that I love that it's taking into account both so that you can really identify where the breakdown is. Because sometimes people put their effort into the wrong thing when they're not looking at it all together. Like they'll say, oh, we don't have enough business. We better spend more on ads. Well, if you have a sales problem, spending more on ads means you have a really big business problem. Like it just got bigger, right? So I love this idea of story because what you're going to do is you're going to help people be able to know where to spend their time and energy in order to create the biggest return.
Absolutely. And we like to break it apart. So we don't think about it as this is the marketing department and their objectives. This is my time on sales. Or if you're a solopreneur, I'm going to spend 2 hours on marketing and 2 hours on sales and, 2 hours on whatever else. It's not like that. You have to see that they are muddy and everything and that we're all mixed in together. It's a big group hug, and you are doing it all together all the time. So we are a big fan of a business funnel and everything where you break it apart into these are the 7 stages, 7 steps of my funnel that matter. And then you break up what, KPIs go into each of those that you're going to track to know where you have an issue. and then you determine what tactics and strategies are involved in that step and everything. So I know if this KPI is off, all right, something's wrong in what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And then we are tracking conversion to each stage. So it might be the handoff between what happens in this stage to this stage. You have to look at the whole data story. So we look at 7 different elements. We look at awareness, so visibility summit, inquiry. So when did they said, all right, tell me more. Conversion, I bought from you. I signed a contract. I sent you my money. Satisfaction, you delivered on what you said you were going to do. Retention, they stayed with you. Okay. Expansion, they bought more, they want to do more, they're gonna, keep buying from you. And then advocacy. So awareness, inquiry, conversion, satisfaction, retention, expansion, and advocacy.
You're going to have to write these into the chat when we get
will. And part of, yes, I will definitely drop that into the chat. And then part of my, what I'm giving to the community today is a free 15-minute session. And in that, I'm going to give you a worksheet that has this funnel, little fillable worksheet where you can map out, these are my tactics and strategies in all 7 stages. This is the budget, that I've aligned to that. And here are the KPIs I'm going to track in each one. So I know, Amy, I see that you just dropped it in there. So 15 minutes, I'll teach you how to use it and you can figure it out.
And I want to give you guys just a real encouragement to do this, because I will tell you that I wish I had understood that process when I was new in business. I was so focused on how much we sold that year, so focused on sales, that I had a lot of people that we had great working relationships with that I let walk out the door because I was like, done, contract's done, who's next? Who am I going to get next? And this process of really thinking through is going to make your business so much easier in the long run, because you're building loyal, raving fans. And I love, love, love. I didn't even know you were going to go that far. I love that your process, like, I can't explain how happy that makes my heart to hear that when you're looking at the story, you're looking at the whole story all the way to people only measure the first 3.
No, yeah. I mean, that's why we built, how I built this entire company and everything with my business partners is end-to-end revenue production. What happens at the very beginning all the way to the end, because you cannot say the ROI. I've seen so many Facebook ad reports that said, here's how many new inquiries you got and your cost per click, your cost per conversion was this. And they're like, great, keep throwing money at it and everything. Let's keep doing it and everything. But okay, so they filled out your form, they signed up for your $7, whatever it is. You might have an actual ROI because there's a dollar tied to that. But if it was just to sign up for, let's say, a free summit and everything, that doesn't tell me the ROI. That tells me I had great in that bucket of awareness and inquiry, but I didn't convert anybody, not really, because ROI is financial return. And then we can pretend that it's not. And some people will say ROI is lots of things. Those are all things that contribute to ROI, and they're all great factors, but we're all in business. I think it's silly to avoid that and say, I don't want to be able to put food on my table, right? I'm a single parent. I have 2 small kids by myself. So I need money on the table at the end of the day. So I need ROI. So I got to look at how it all works together, because I'm only going to put more money in those ads if I actually convert it into sales that retained, that referred business. What's the lifetime value of what that Facebook ad generated for me?
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Okay, so we dropped in your link. Do you want to just tell them again what the offer is?
Yeah, sure. So that link there takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule yourself 15 minutes with me, and we'll hop on a Zoom chat like this, and I will give you the digital ROI worksheet, and we'll talk through how to start tracking your digital marketing analytics so that it contributes to revenue. So
thank you so much. Love it. Love it. That is such a great perspective. That honestly, I really do wish I had understood that when I first got started, because it is the difference of, I think, doubling where my business is today. Not that we're in a bad spot, but honestly, I've thought that had I been aware of the second half of that process when I first started, we would be so much farther along today. So thank you so much for being on.
All right. Happy to do it. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. So we'll be in touch for sure. And then I'm going to